Trends. In life, a lot of people like to follow what's most popular at the time. This is a very broad topic. It could be anything from sports teams all the way to like obscure Pokemon cards. But no matter what, whatever is trending, whatever is the biggest thing in the world, always within 5 years is going to be completely forgotten about. A good example, this Hawk Tuah girl. Nobody's going to remember her in 5 years. Let's talk about our first trend. Bro, what happened to these? When I was a kid, one thing was for certain, and that is that no matter where I went, to the doctor's office, to Walmart, to school, I would always see fidget spinners. They were like an inescapable virus. Everyone you knew probably had one. I don't even remember the first time I think I saw a fidget spinner. They just spawned in out of nowhere and suddenly took over the entire world. For those of you who don't know what a fidget spinner is, it is a thing that you would put in between your fingers and spin around, and that is it. It is nothing phenomenal. I have no idea why they got so popular in the first place. They had different variants of fidget spinners. They had like spiky ones, they had like iridescent shiny ones, and bro, they were not cheap, dude. Like, bro, you know how I figured out that your family had money? When you had fidget spinners. That's how I knew that you were loaded with bread, because bro, we had to be spending that money on food and groceries, not plastic garbage. I can guarantee you all of these fidget spinners were made in a Chinese warehouse for a fraction of a cent. Everybody in school had fidget spinners, except for me. And now that I think back on it, I'm pretty happy I didn't. Mostly because it just seems like a waste of money now that I'm older and I have my own money. I remember me and my friend once ended up trying to make our own fidget spinner with pencils and an eraser. It was so sad. Inside fidget spinners were like these little ball bearings, and we didn't know where to get them. So around lunchtime, we found out ball bearings are inside your skateboard wheels. So we literally went to his house after school, took apart skateboard wheels to attempt to make our own fidget spinner. And the result wasn't the most fantastic. It kind of looked like shit. But it didn't matter because within like 6 months, fidget spinners were completely dead. Like, honestly, sit down right now and think, when was the last time you saw a fidget spinner? Yeah, that's exactly what I thought. Moving on. Dabbing. Ugh. It started off as like something on Vine, which if you don't know what Vine was, it was an app back long ago. It was kind of like TikTok. Dabbing was something that was made up on Vine. It was like a dance move sort of. But then eventually, like many things, once it hit the mainstream, it was disgusting. I don't even want to talk about dabbing anymore because it brings back Vietnam flashbacks to when I thought I was the coolest dude in school. I would go up to my crush and dab in front of her. I bet now 10 years later, she's very thankful eternally that she didn't engage in conversation with the sweaty dabbing boy in middle school. Pokemon Go took over the world completely. Everybody I know, including myself, was playing Pokemon Go. Now, it's not a game that's completely dead. I mean, there are a few people that still play it. James, one of my friends, he still plays Pokemon Go pretty consistently, but it's by no means as big as it used to be. Back in 2016, you had nearly everybody playing Pokemon Go. People were literally going outside just for the reason to play this game. And there were an insane amount of people. Yo, take a look at this picture from Central Park in New York. And it's not just there, it was all over the world that it just went so unbelievably crazy. Of course, this game didn't end up going without its controversies. Obviously, with this being a game where you have to be focused on your phone like 95% of the time, you're not really paying attention to what's around you. In California, 2 men fell off a 90-foot cliff while looking for Pokemon. This game was so mainstream, it even had the old head politicians talking about it. It's one of those things where you just had to be there to understand truly how big of a thing this was. Again, obviously it died down a little bit because you don't see as many people playing it, but again, it still has a very dedicated fan base. I mean, the subreddit has almost 5 million members, with people still posting consistently and talking about the game daily. Stanley Cups. I've wanted to talk about these for so long. I hated Stanley Cups. I thought they were the stupidest thing ever, and I knew that nobody would be thinking about them within 3 months. Stanley Cups, for those of you who aren't living under a rock, it is a cup, and it is metal. That's about it. Yeah, when you heard about how popular they were, you may have thought that they were made of solid gold encrusted in diamonds, but no, it's just a metal cup with a straw that supposedly keeps your water cold. I never had one. I stuck to drinking out of a normal glass like a plebeian, or this waifu cup that Gamer Subs gave me. Oh, link in description, huh? Yeah. But Stanley Cups, they were just, I knew about them before they were really popular, and I think a lot of others did, but they blew up in popularity when this girl had her car like explode and everything ended up getting destroyed in the fire, except for her Stanley Cup, which remained cold and the ice was still good and everything. And that video ended up getting posted to TikTok and it blew up like crazy. And next thing you know, Stanley Cups are the most popular thing on the market. Starbucks released a collab with Stanley. I think it was a pink cup, and people were going crazy at Target. Like, there were lineups outside of the store in order to try and get this cup. If you were not one of the lucky few who were able to get your greasy little fingers on the Starbucks Stanley Cup collab, the winter pink, lucky for you, you can go on resale sites online such as eBay and get the cup for $350 US for a cup. And people were actually willing to pay this price, because why else would they list it up as this much money? One of my main issues with the Stanley Cups is the straws. I think cups that come with straws built into them are disgusting, because how are you supposed to clean it? Like, imagine you're drinking, I don't know, milk out of it. I don't know why you're drinking milk out of a straw, but imagine like mold starts to grow in it and you just casually sip on it, not expecting anything to happen. To all those people who spent hundreds of dollars on Stanley Cups, I really do hope you feel better about yourself and now knowing that nobody on earth still uses them. Like, nobody is talking about them. Think to yourself when the last time you saw a Stanley Cup in public was, which was probably back in December of 2023. I don't have any ops. I'm from the suburbs, but these are my ops. Hoverboards. Yeah, bro, I never understood the hype around these things. They looked so goofy. Like, do you seriously think that when you get on a hoverboard and instead of walking, you use this down the sidewalk, you think people are gonna be walking past you going, wow, I really wish I could be just like that guy? I guarantee you absolutely nobody thinks that. If anything, people are going to be questioning you on why you would possibly spend so much money on such a stupid thing. If you go online right now and you look how much they are, they're not as expensive as they used to be, but when they first came out, they were like $300. I also never understood the logic of getting one. Despite having to charge them for a really long time, the battery still sucks. They're really hard to balance, and even when you do know how to use it, it's still slower than if you were to just walk normally. These things are pieces of garbage, and they always have been. You hoverboard. Can we stop pretending that these things are cool? Because they're not. Okay, maybe I kind of see the vision of them. I don't know, actually. Regardless of what I think, these things died out so fast. They come from a company called Mischief. Mischief is very well known in the sneakerhead community for making funky looking shoes, you know, going outside the box, and these definitely do that. When they first released, they were all the rage. Everybody was talking about them, but now you don't really see anyone even mentioning them at this point. I mean, they were reselling for a couple $1,000s at one point. I'm assuming they're still selling for the same amount. Low-key, dude, if someone gave me a pair of these, I'd take them. I feel like they'd look pretty cool. Anyways, I've taken up enough of your time. Unless I haven't, feel free to check this video out. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you all, and to all of my lovely subscribers. It's 8 o'clock in the morning, now I'm entering my bed. Had a few dreams about you, I can tell you what we did. I expected to see you on your morning run again. No, I shouldn't be watching.